Have you ever wondered if your future was written in your blood long before you ever made your first decision? Not written as fate, not carved in stone, but quietly encoded in the invisible language of your genes, waiting patiently to reveal themselves through time. Chronic kidney disease does not knock loudly at first, it whispers. It moves in silence, often hidden beneath years of normal life, daily routines, ambitions, and responsibilities. Many people believe that illness is purely the result of lifestyle choices, that health is only shaped by diet, exercise, or stress. While these factors matter deeply, there is another layer beneath them, a deeper foundation that cannot be seen with the naked eye. Genetics plays a powerful role in shaping how vulnerable or resilient our bodies may be, and understanding this truth is not meant to create fear, but awareness. When we begin to understand that some individuals are born with a higher susceptibility to kidney disease, we stop blaming and start preparing. We move from denial to responsibility. We shift from ignorance to empowerment. The human body is not random. It carries history within it. Your family history is not just a collection of stories told at gatherings. It is biological information passed down through generations. If someone in your family struggled with kidney disease, high blood pressure, or diabetes, that information matters. It does not guarantee your outcome, but it increases your responsibility. And responsibility, when embraced with courage, becomes power. Medical science continues to reveal how inherited kidney disorders and genetic variations can directly affect kidney structure and function. Some genes influence how efficiently the kidneys filter waste. Others affect blood pressure regulation, inflammation, or metabolic balance. When these systems are slightly altered from birth, the risk quietly increases. Dr. Mathew R. Weir has often emphasized the importance of early awareness and proactive monitoring in kidney health, reminding us through medical discussions that knowledge is not a burden, but a shield. When you understand your risk, you are no longer walking blindly. You begin to see the road ahead with clarity, and clarity changes everything. Instead of waiting for symptoms, you choose screening. Instead of assuming you are safe, you choose testing. Instead of reacting to damage, you focus on prevention. This is not about living in fear of your genes. It is about respecting the blueprint you were given and deciding how you will respond to it. Genetics may load the gun, but lifestyle often pulls the trigger. That truth is both humbling and empowering. It means that even if vulnerability exists, action still matters. Monitoring blood pressure, controlling blood sugar, staying hydrated, maintaining a balanced diet, and scheduling regular medical checkups are not small habits. They are acts of self-respect. They are declarations that your future is worth protecting. When we accept that we are influenced by both inheritance and choice, we stop arguing with reality and start working with it. And in that partnership between science and discipline, between knowledge and action, we discover something powerful. We are not powerless. We are participants in our own long-term health. The story written in your genes is not the final chapter. It is only the introduction. What you do with that introduction determines how the rest of the story unfolds. But what happens when we ignore the whispers of our bodies? When we assume that just because we feel fine today, nothing could ever be wrong tomorrow? The truth is far more delicate and mysterious than we often allow ourselves to see. Chronic kidney disease can be a silent architect, reshaping your health long before you notice any pain or limitation. The danger lies not only in the disease itself, but in the unawareness that allows it to grow unchecked. It hides behind seemingly normal lab results, fleeting fatigue, or minor discomfort, lulling us into a false sense of security. Yet, in that silence lies a profound lesson about human life and responsibility. Just as the trees prepare for winter long before the first frost, our bodies often signal danger long before symptoms appear. Genetic predisposition is one of those subtle warnings, an inherited map of vulnerabilities that asks for our attention and respect. Some families carry histories of kidney disease, high blood pressure, or metabolic disorders, and these patterns are not coincidences. They are coded messages waiting to be interpreted. To ignore them is to ignore a gift, the gift of foresight. Dr. Mathew R. Weir, that discusses kidney health, consistently reminds us that early intervention can transform outcomes. There is an art to anticipating illness, a philosophy to preemptive care, and wisdom in learning to listen to the quiet language of the body. Awareness alone does not change destiny, but it opens the door for conscious action. And action, when consistent and deliberate, becomes the defining factor between decline and resilience. Imagine your genetic risk as a shadow that stretches across your life. The longer you wait, the darker and more consuming it becomes. But light, knowledge, awareness, and proactive measures can reduce that shadow, making space for vitality, clarity, and longevity. Prevention is not merely avoiding disease. It is embracing a philosophy of life that values foresight over reaction, responsibility over regret. It is choosing to honor the intricate design of your body rather than taking it for granted. And yet, the middle of this journey holds suspense, a tension between what is known and what is unknown, between inherited risk and personal choice. Will you confront the genetic truths you have been given, or will you let them quietly dictate your life? That suspense is not meant to paralyze you. It is meant to awaken you. When you acknowledge that some factors are out of your control while others are firmly within it, a paradoxical freedom emerges. You may not be able to rewrite your genetic code, but you can rewrite your habits, your mindset, your commitment to health, and your approach to every meal, every checkup, every decision that touches your well-being. Each action becomes a statement. I refuse to be a passive observer of my own life. You begin to see the interconnectedness of choices and outcomes. The food you eat, the water you drink, the exercises you perform, the stress you manage. All are instruments of influence over a story that began long before your birth. And in that realization lies empowerment. Genetics gives you the blueprint. Your daily actions give you the architecture. You can choose to strengthen, fortify, and preserve, or you can neglect, weaken, and risk. This understanding transforms fear into motivation, despair into discipline, and knowledge into hope. The suspense of the unknown, the tension between risk and control, is what drives humanity to learn, to adapt, and to grow. And here is the subtle truth. Embracing your genetic reality is not a limitation. It is a call to excellence, a reminder that life is precious, fragile, and worthy of every precaution. Those who heed this call discover resilience, not just physically, but mentally and spiritually. Awareness of family risk becomes an invitation to live intentionally, to honor the body as both inheritance and responsibility, and to protect the most precious asset we have, our capacity to live fully. In every moment of proactive care, in every test and lifestyle adjustment, there is a silent affirmation that life matters, that health matters, that you matter. And when knowledge meets consistent action, the suspense of what could happen transforms into the certainty of what can be achieved. The tension fades into empowerment, the unknown becomes navigable, and the quiet whispers of your genetic code are met with the loud, deliberate voice of conscious choice. Now, imagine standing at the edge of possibility, looking back at the patterns of your family's health history and forward into the life you still have the power to shape. The choices you make today echo far beyond the moment, rippling into days, months, and years that are yet unwritten. Chronic kidney disease may be influenced by genetics, yet it is not a sentence. It is a challenge, a call to mindfulness, and a test of human resilience. Understanding your inherited risk is not about surrendering to fear. It is about seizing responsibility and acting with intentionality. Dr. Mathew R. Weir has long emphasized that awareness is the first and most crucial step toward prevention, reminding us that knowledge without action is merely potential waiting to be realized. When we embrace the wisdom embedded in our own biology, we begin to see life not as a series of random events, but as an interconnected journey in which every choice carries significance. Our bodies are not passive vessels. They are living systems that respond to care, discipline, and vigilance. When we recognize a heightened genetic vulnerability, we are gifted an opportunity to become architects of our own destiny, to proactively influence outcomes that might otherwise remain uncertain. Every lab test, every doctor's consultation, every change in lifestyle is a declaration of agency. They are proof that even within the invisible constraints of our DNA, we possess enormous capacity to direct the story of our lives. This understanding transforms health into a philosophy, a way of living in harmony with the delicate balance of inheritance and choice. It is about honoring the life coded within us while exercising the freedom we have to enhance it. The process of prevention becomes almost spiritual, a daily act of respect, a commitment to one's own existence, and an affirmation that life is precious and must be protected with diligence and care. Family histories, inherited conditions, and genetic markers become not ominous warnings, but lanterns illuminating the path toward awareness, early detection, and strategic action. In the quiet moments, when no one is watching and the choices feel small and insignificant, these are the acts that matter most. Staying hydrated, prioritizing sleep, maintaining balanced nutrition, controlling blood pressure, and monitoring key health metrics. Each small decision compounds, building a fortress of resilience over time. The suspense of the unknown, the uncertainty of whether disease will manifest, is transformed into deliberate focus, as knowledge becomes a tool and not a burden. It is the understanding that while genetics may influence susceptibility, it does not dictate inevitability. In this space, fear is replaced with determination, ignorance with clarity, and passivity with responsibility. To embrace your genetic awareness fully is to embrace life itself, to claim authority over your future, and to honor the legacy of those who came before you by taking actions that safeguard your own health. There is profound power in this realization, a quiet yet profound philosophy that teaches patience, vigilance, and respect for the complexity of the human body. Your choices today are not isolated. They are part of a continuum stretching backward to your ancestors and forward to your descendants. In practicing awareness and preventive care, you create a ripple effect that transcends the individual, impacting family, community, and society by reducing the burden of disease and inspiring others to act. And in this act of conscientious living, you discover a deeper truth. Life is not about avoiding every risk, but about responding wisely to the risks you inherit and encounter. The influence of genetics is real, yet the influence of conscious, informed action is even greater. When you combine knowledge, vigilance, and proactive care, the path forward becomes clearer, the uncertainty less frightening, and the potential for a long, healthy life far more attainable. This is the essence of empowerment. And so, as you watch this video and reflect on your own health, remember that your genetic story is not a limitation. It is a blueprint, a guide, and an opportunity. Take action. Seek regular screenings. Communicate openly with your healthcare providers. Make conscious lifestyle choices. Share awareness with your family. Every step you take is a declaration that your life matters, that your health matters, and that the lessons of inheritance are being met with wisdom, courage, and responsibility. The knowledge of inherited risk is not a burden. It is an invitation to mastery over your own well-being. If you are benefiting from our topics, please subscribe, like, and turn on the bell notification so you can see our new videos early.